Yes, we can start.
You can start, Rashmi.
Just a second, मेरा Zoom चला गया. क्या कर रही हो संध्या? इतना मुस्कुरा क्यों रही हो?
You know, रश्मि, कल मैंने एक बहुत ही अच्छा सपना देखा. मैंने देखा कि मैं एक इवेंट करके निकल रही हूँ और लोग मेरा ऑटोग्राफ लेने आ रहे हैं. इसलिए सोचा थोड़ी प्रैक्टिस कर लूं सिग्नेचर की.
ऊंचे सपने देखना अच्छा है, लेकिन अभी दिल्ली दूर है मैडम. फिर भी कैसा सिग्नेचर कर रही थी?
सिग्नेचर जैसा नाम ही तो लिखना होता है, इसमें क्या साइंस है?
अरे है, साइंस है इसमें. क्या तुम सक्सेसफुल होना चाहती हो?
हाँ.
क्या तुम कॉन्फिडेंस गेन करना चाहती हो?
हाँ, ऑब्वियसली.
क्या तुम अपना पर्सनालिटी भी डेवलपमेंट करना चाहोगी?
हाँ भाई हाँ, लेकिन इस सब का सिग्नेचर से क्या कनेक्शन है?
अरे बहुत है. चलो आज अपने इस कैफे में सीखेंगे इस चीज का, सीखने के लिए.
आज यहीं सीख लेंगे हम लोग. चलिए.
हाँ भाई हाँ.
वाह.
Hello friends. Hello friends. As we all know that today's session is on signature, on how signature plays a vital role in our lives. So Priyanka Agarwal is here from Jaipur as our guest to highlight on this topic. Before starting this session, I would like our Kavita Didi, the founder of our cafe, to say a few words for us.
I'm looking forward because signature analysis is a very, very interesting subject. प्रियंका ने पहले भी सेशन किया है and प्रियंका का energy is so infectious that everybody will be left highly energetic by the end of the session. So really looking forward to it, and thank you Sandhya Di and Rashmi for putting this up together for all of us. So let's begin. Thank you so much.
Now I would like our mentor Nidhi Didi to say a few words for us for this session.
Few words, all the best, and I'm really looking forward for Priyanka's session because even I'm willing to change my signature into autograph. So looking forward and just can't wait. Please begin.
Now let us introduce our today's guest, Priyanka Agarwal, who at a very young age has achieved a certification of graphology with a renowned experience of more than 7 years in handwriting and signature analysis and training. The courses and workshops organized by her have been fruitful for thousands of people. In fact, she has already completed the handwriting analysis for 2,000 people along with various recommendations and therapies. Besides this, before entering into this graphology world, she was an HR in an investment banking firm, shows her excellence in the corporate sector too. Mrs. Agarwal has trained over thousands of people around the various sectors in the field of graphology and in the spree to train more and more. So, with a big round of applause, I would like to invite Priyanka Agarwal to take over the podium and enlighten us on this topic.
So thank you so much, everyone. That was a very cute skit. And Kavita ji, that puts so much pressure on me today. But I will try my best to live up to the expectation that you have. And just one more thing. I started it at a very young age. I'm not so young anymore. I am almost 30 years of age. Now I look young, but I'm not that young in terms of my chronological age. So yes, so I hope you all are very, very excited about today's session. We are going to be learning about so many things. We will try and also implement certain changes in your handwriting and signature so that by the end of the workshop, you will have something to take away. So I hope everyone is comfortable with both Hindi and English because the mode of the communication will be Hindi and English. So Now, before we move forward, since we have limited time, so we'll quickly try and run through topics. I will try to explain every topic to the best of my capacity. In case you have any questions or doubts, you can always put that on the chat box and I will try and answer them as best I can. Now, before we move forward, before we start anything for that matter, आप लोग इस सेमिनार में आए क्यों? What is graphology? Like, why? What do you think is graphology? क्या करता है graphology? So, like, Rashmi said in the beginning, she was in the skit, she was saying that it is a science. So, is it a science या फिर ये सब फर्जीवाड़ा है और we get intuitions and सपने में आता है हमारे को personality लोगों का. So, what is it exactly graphology according to you? If I can get some views maybe in the chat box, or if you can unmute yourself and tell me your views quickly, like what, even if it is you don't know much, still I would like any input which is there in your mind.
It is definitely a science. It is definitely a science. क्योंकि हम लोग देखते हैं ना कि कई लोग अपना सिग्नेचर चेंज करते हैं तो उनका सक्सेस में एक ग्रोथ देखते हैं, या कोई एक हैंडराइटिंग में भी कुछ एक वर्ड को इधर से उधर कर देते हैं तो उससे भी बहुत डिफरेंस आता है उनकी लाइफ में. So it is definitely a science.
Okay, so you feel it's a science. Study of interpretation of nature through handwriting and improving too. Very good points. Speaks about you, signatures speak about you. Anything else? Quickly, if somebody wants to just add on.
Priyanka, I have not allowed them to unmute actually.
Okay, so maybe they can put it on the chat
On
box.
the chat box only, yes.
Okay,
Otherwise it becomes, everyone starts talking together.
Okay, makes sense. So if you have your opinions and views, you can put it on the chat box and we can take that. So like most of you have mentioned that it talks about your personality, it talks about your nature, it talks about what kind of a behavior or what kind of a person you are. It's absolutely right. Just before we move on to the topic, it's essential for us to understand what are we dealing with. क्यों हम ये subject पढ़ रहे हैं या क्यों हम अपना time effort इसके अंदर invest कर रहे हैं. So you should know, because if you Google the word graphology, it will tell you that it is a pseudoscience. Google पे भी बहुत सारी websites available है जो आपको बोलती है graphology फर्जीवाड़ा है, graphology is a pseudoscience, बिल्कुल intuition या फिर लोगों का चेहरा देख के वो लोग अपना analysis बोलते हैं. ऐसा है, बोलते Google पे है. So it's important to understand why does it work. If we are calling it a science, why is it a science? है ना? So when you Google the definition of graphology, you will see that Google is talking and saying that it is a science. ठीक है? A science of interpreting your handwriting and signature to talk about your personality, behavior, thought processes, even medical conditions of the body. So if you're having pain in your leg today, it will reflect in your handwriting. जिस दिन pain चला जाएगा, वो आपका pain भी writing से चला जाएगा. Problems like migraine, stomach issues, etc. These can also be identified through the handwriting. So this is what Google tells us. Now, important thing to note here is that there is a misconception that graphology is only signature analysis. That's not true. Signature is important. It talks about your personality, but उससे ज़्यादा important है हमारा handwriting. ठीक है? And handwriting is a bigger picture. जब हम लोग handwriting analysis पढ़ते, it takes us about 1.5 months. And signature पढ़ने में हमें सिर्फ 5 दिन लगती है. So you can relate कि कितना vast difference है, but क्योंकि celebrities अपना signature लिखते हैं, बहुत सारे लोगों ने अपना signature change किया, that's why people know that signature analysis जैसी चीज होती है, but writing analysis जैसी चीज होती है, ऐसा लोगों को पता नहीं. Then they think अच्छा वो writing से भी कुछ पता चलता है. But yes, this is a misconception. Writing analysis is equally, if not more, equally important like that of signature analysis. ठीक है? So in the seminar today, we are going to be covering handwriting as well as signature. ठीक है? Signature, the reason why we put signature as the topic of the workshop is to attract more people, ताकि लोग ज़्यादा आएं and लोगों को लगे कि अच्छा signature change होगा. Writing डालते तो कोई नहीं आता. Maybe जितने 66 लोग हैं उनमें से आधे लोग भी turn up नहीं होते. So that was a trick to bring you guys in for the workshop. But yes, it is equally important. Writing से भी हमें बहुत सारी चीजें पता चलेगी that we look. So now, when we say it is a science, why is graphology a science? क्यों काम करता है? So now if you guys have never had an experience about graphology, आपने कभी सीखा नहीं graphology, but मैं claim कर रही हूँ कि आपकी writing देख के मैं आपके बारे में बता सकती हूँ. How is that possible? अगर आपका nature change हो रहा है, आपकी writing change हो रही है, तो आपका nature भी change होगा. और वो मैं कैसे in real time बता सकती हूँ? Why is it a science? So it is all connected to our biology. Graphology is nothing but a connection to our neurology, nervous system. Her nerve, and the doctors will tell you that every nerve in our body, all the nerves, they pass through our hand. Every single nerve, चाहे वो दिमाग में हो, चाहे वो पैर में, every single nerve passes through our hand or fingertips. So when we write something on a piece of paper, subconsciously, unconsciously, every thought process that you have, everything that you're thinking, whatever current nature you have, it comes down on paper subconsciously. Okay? Now somebody can question me that Priyanka, I have never studied graphology. मैंने आज से पहले कभी सुना भी नहीं. तो मुझे कैसे, या मेरे ब्रेन को कैसे पता कैसे लिखना है? अगर मेरे को गुस्सा ज्यादा आता है तो मेरे ब्रेन को कैसे पता कैसे लिखना है? या फिर फॉर एग्जाम्पल मुझे लेट्स से टुडे आई एम अपसेट, so how does my brain know how do I have to write? And when I become happy, how does my brain know now I've become happy and how do I write? So how is this possible? To answer this, let me give you an analogy. Let me give you an example. Probably a lot of us never have learned body language. हमने कभी सीखा नहीं body language. But even since when we were a little kid, जब हमें गुस्सा आता था, हमारा ना चिन यहाँ तक खून आ जाता है ना, like our blood circulates to the cheeks, our breathing rate becomes up and down, है ना, our oxygen, we start to inhale more, है ना. When we are upset, our body slouches like that. Okay, when we are upset, we, our eyes become drooped down. Okay, or when we are happy, we are very jumpy and like that. When we are insecure, we fold our hands. When we are underconfident, when we are feeling nervous, we do something like that. Nobody has taught us that. किसी ने नहीं आपको स्कूल में सिखाया बेटा जब आप नर्वस होते हो तो हाथ ऐसे फोल्ड करो. Nobody has taught us that. So why do we all human beings, not just Indians, not just Americans, not just people from the UK, everywhere in the entire world, we all exhibit similar body language. Okay, when we don't like somebody, we tend to put more body spacing between us, and when we like somebody, we tend to stand very close to them. So why does it happen with all of us? These are not things which were not taught to you, but these are things which were already there inside of you. Brain wire इसको बोलते हैं, या फिर these are traits which you inherited as a human species. There are certain genetic traits जो सिखाए नहीं जाते but already होते हैं. हमें किसी ने swallow करना नहीं सिखाया. When we just were born, nobody taught us to swallow the mother's milk, but we already knew it. So there are certain things that you're born with. Certain things are taught to you. Certain things you are already born with, subconsciously, unconsciously, you already know how to do that. Similarly, the knowledge of graphology is already inside of you. You are not consciously aware of it, but you already know it as you member of human species. So आपके brain को automatically पता है कि मैं अगर दुखी हूँ तो मेरी writing ना इस तरीके से letter A लिखने का तरीका ये हो जाएगा. अगर मैं खुश हूँ तो मेरे letter A लिखने का तरीका let's say ये हो जाएगा. अगर मैं गुस्से में हूँ तो मेरे letter A लिखने का तरीका ये हो जाएगा. Just giving you an example, ऐसा होता नहीं, but ये वाला नहीं होता, but I'm just giving you an example. So your body already is aware of those things. With the help of graphology, by learning graphology, we are just teaching you how to interpret that language. We are just learning by way of graphology. We just learn how to interpret your body's communication through your handwriting. Okay, and that's one of the reasons why I'm sure a lot of us here must be aware of psychology या counseling या इस तरीके के कोई profession में या कभी counselors के पास गए हो. For some reason, they always tell you, first thing they always tell you is maintain a journal. Whenever you're unhappy, whenever you're sad, whenever anything wrong goes in your life, they always tell you jot down your thoughts. Why do they tell you? वो क्यों नहीं बोलते computer पे लिखो? वो इसलिए बोलते हैं हाथ से लिखो, because when you write something, automatically acupressure से all the things, negative energy, it gets released on the paper, and somehow you automatically feel better. Okay, so this is the reason why it happens. So now is it a little clear why this is a science and why this is not a pseudoscience. क्या logic है? All the logic is connected to our nerves in our hands. Whenever we write something, everything comes down on the paper, whether you are aware of graphology or whether you are not aware of graphology. So हर किसी को unconsciously पता है graphology के बारे में. So is that part a little clear as to why is this a science? So now, since we have covered that, now we have established that we're not getting things in intuition. हमें सपने नहीं आते किसी की personality के बारे में, है ना? It is a pure science. 1 + 1 2 होता है. Similarly, इस letter A का analysis ये होगा, इस letter A का analysis कुछ होगा, इस letter A का analysis कुछ होगा. ठीक है? It is a proper mechanism that there is in place कि ऐसा लिखोगे तो इसका मतलब ये है, ऐसा लिखोगे तो इसका मतलब ये है. There is no rocket science, there is no intuition, there is no anything, sixth sense and things like that. It is purely a science. Now, since we have established that it is a science, I am also saying that you can relearn and you can change your personality, you can change your behavior by changing your handwriting. This is also what I'm claiming. ठीक है? So मैंने बोला, आप जब दुखी होते हो आपकी राइटिंग बदलती है, आप जब खुश होते हो आपकी राइटिंग बदलती है. Every 6 months everyone has a change in their handwriting. Every person, चाहे वो माइनर हो चाहे वो मेजर हो, बट चेंजेस होते हैं. मैंने बोला आज आपके पैर में दर्द हो रहा है तो वो आपकी राइटिंग में आएगा, जिस दिन पैर में दर्द ठीक होगा वो आपकी राइटिंग से चला जाएगा. राइट? So what I'm also trying to say is your writing keeps on changing. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm telling you, by changing your handwriting, you can also bring a change in your personality. So मैं ये बोल रही हूँ असल में. मैं आपको पहले बोला कि हाँ आपकी राइटिंग बदलती है. अब मैं बोल रही हूँ आप जबरदस्ती अपनी राइटिंग बदलोगे, जानबूझ के अपनी राइटिंग में चेंजेस लाओगे, वो आपकी पर्सनालिटी पे भी इम्पैक्ट देगा, वो आपकी पर्सनालिटी को इन्फ्लुएंस करेगा. दिस इज समथिंग दैट वी कॉल एज अ ग्राफोथेरेपी. इसको हम बोलते हैं ग्राफोथेरेपी, जहां पे हम कॉन्शियसली आपकी राइटिंग के अंदर चेंजेस लाते हैं ताकि आपकी उस तरीके से पर्सनालिटी बदले. सो इफ आई एम अंडर कॉन्फिडेंट टुडे, आई नो आई एम अंडर कॉन्फिडेंट, जस्ट बाय चेंजिंग 2 or 3 things in my handwriting, I can, in a span of 2 or 3 months, I can start to become more confident. और मैं इतना क्लेम कर रही हूँ 2-3 महीने में. आई एम नॉट सेइंग years, it will not take you years. I am saying only a matter of 2-3 months you will start to see changes in yourself. It's not magic. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने चेंज किया और अगले दिन आप उठे एंड सडनली आप कॉन्फिडेंट बन गए, ऐसा नहीं होता. बट धीरे धीरे, slowly and gradually, some thought processes will come in. For example, earlier I was so underconfident that I could not answer in the class. ठीक है? Once I changed my handwriting, after 2 or 3 months, within 2 or 3 months, I will notice कि मन में आएगा चलो एक आंसर दे के देती हूँ छोटा सा. I'm very sure it is the correct answer. Let me just answer that in the class. So teacher says, okay, this was the right answer. Good, Priyanka, very good. So I become little confident. Next time, teachers ask a question. If I'm 50% sure, let me take an answer in the class. ठीक है? मैंने कभी किसी के सामने, so I was talking to Rashmi recently yesterday and she was telling me that आप लोग का एक प्रोग्राम होता है English करके. So there you guys gain confidence, you guys speak in front of people and you try to develop confidence, which currently is missing at the moment. ठीक है? So ये भी आप लोग भी तो यही कर रहे हो कि आप लोग प्रैक्टिस से कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ाने की कोशिश कर रहे हो. With way of graphotherapy, we are doing the same thing but with only the handwriting, nothing else. सब चीजें सेम, चाहे आप लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन में मानते हो, चाहे आप आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग में मानते हो, चाहे आप सदगुरु को फॉलो करते हो, सब चीज सेम बोलती है दैट विथ प्रैक्टिस यू कैन चेंज योर पर्सनैलिटी. इवन वी आर सेइंग द सेम थिंग, नथिंग एल्स. सो इट्स ऑल द सेम. व्हाटएवर सूट्स यू, यू शुड do. What I believe is whatever method suits you, चाहे वो ग्राफोलॉजी हो, चाहे वो रेकी हो, चाहे वो प्राणिक हीलिंग हो, चाहे वो प्रैक्टिस हो, पर्सनैलिटी डेवलपमेंट क्लासेस हो, whatever suits you, you should follow that. Okay, there is no one size fit all. Always remember this. ठीक है, चलो. So now that we have covered a little bit of ज्ञान and theory of what is graphology, what is, is this a science, what is graphotherapy and things like that. Now let's move on to the interesting part. So actually learning the topics, and what I want you to do is after during the time when we are learning these topics, I want you to take note of the things that you want to change in your own handwriting. And I want you to practice those changes for the next 21 days. जो भी हम पढ़ेंगे, I need you to practice those changes for the 21 days, and after 21 days, just stop the practice. है ना? And then within 2-3 months, you come and tell me what your experience has been. So we are going to be covering about 6-7 topics in today's seminar. And उसमें से अगर आपको लगता है आप में confidence का कमी है, so the topics, I'll tell you the brief topics that we are going to cover. So we're going to cover time management. We will cover confidence. We will cover public speaking, socializing skills, communication skills, and selling skills. So these are essentially the 6 topics that we are going to be taking up today in the workshop. So इनमें से अगर आपको लगता है कि मेरे को ये चीज का कमी है, understand that when I'm teaching that, and try to bring changes in your own handwriting. And once your changes are there in place in your handwriting, you will see improvement, and that's a guarantee that I'm taking. I'm taking an assurity for that. I'm not even taking a warranty, I'm taking a guarantee for that. ठीक है? चलो, so before we move forward, I need you all to do one small activity. Just छोटा सा एक activity, ताकि ये सब चीजें आप आइडेंटिफाई कर पाओ अपनी खुद की हैंडराइटिंग. सो टेक एनी पेन which is present in front of you. If preferable, if you have a blank piece of paper जिसमें lines नहीं होता है, I need you to just write one paragraph. Anything that comes to your mind, preferably English. कहीं से copy मत करना. You can write about yourself, you can write your name, where are you from, you can write about your kids, what do you do, anything. But prefer, try not to copy the content from anywhere. Okay, it has to come from your original mind. Write one paragraph and do your signature after that. So I'm going to give you exactly 5 minutes for this activity. Write one paragraph. जैसा मन करता है, जो मन करता है आप लिखो, preferably in English, and on a blank piece of paper जिसमें lines नहीं. Try to do that, and then when we study the topics, you will be able to identify this in your own handwriting. So your time starts now. In case you have any questions, you can write in the chat box. All right. So I hope all of you are done with this activity. Keep that paper with you, because what we are going to study, try and see if that is there in your handwriting. Okay, we are going to be studying certain topics, and this is how we go about with the analysis. So आप लोग आज क्लास ये सेशन के बाद एक कुछ ना कुछ नया सीखोगे, writing analysis करते कैसे, like how do you, the tricks and the tips of handwriting and signature analysis. ठीक है? All right. So the 6-7 topics that we have been able to identify, these were the concerns what we felt is what majority of the females are facing. चाहे वो कॉन्फिडेंस का इशू हो, चाहे वो टाइम मैनेजमेंट का इशू हो, या फिर पब्लिक स्पीकिंग का इशू हो, या सेलिंग स्किल्स. सो अ लॉट ऑफ अस हियर are also running a business along with our family. We are also running a business, so we are never trained in all these things कि sell कैसे करना है अपने products को, या कैसे marketing करनी है अपने products की. So वो भी एक skill है जो चीज हमें develop करनी पड़ती है over time. So with the help of handwriting, we can try and improve that skill as quickly as possible. Yes, I'm not saying that this is the only solution. You can also enroll yourself for classes. You can enroll yourself for other programs as well. That is also going to help you out a lot. But this, along with that, will really make the process really, really fast. Chalo. So now, let's start. So let's start with the first topic that we have, which is time management. Okay, so let's start with the analysis of time management. So अब time management होता क्या है कि आपने planning किया, पहले आपने उसको execute करना है, ठीक है. So कितना टाइम मैं किसको दूं, कितना टाइम I should I give it to my family, कितने बजे उठूं so that I prepare everyone's lunch and breakfast. After that, what should I do? After that, if I'm done with this, then my kid comes home, मेरे को उसको खाना देना पड़ेगा. फिर शाम में मेरे पास 2 घंटा फ्री है, तो एक काम करती हूँ, उसमें 2 घंटे में I plan my work related activities, then I go on to do dinner, etc, etc. So this is planning, and then when you are able to execute that plan, that is a proper time management. Okay, so time management involves planning as well as execution. So very simple thing that you can identify from the handwriting. So the reason why I asked you to write the sample on a blank piece of paper without lines is for you to see कि आपकी हर line एक दूसरे से कितनी दूर है और कितनी पास है. Okay, so we are going to see in majority of the lines we have to see. I never told you कितना space देना है, कितना नहीं देना है. That was your call. I never interfered in that part. ठीक है, आपने कितना space दिया है या कितना कम space दिया है, that will talk about your time management skills. So ideally you should leave some spacing between your lines. I'm going to show you a sample. Okay. Ideally, you are supposed to leave this much spacing between your lines. Lines आपस में भिड़नी नहीं चाहिए. At the same time, ऐसा भी नहीं होना चाहिए कि बहुत दूर-दूर lines लिखी है. This is what we call it as an average line spacing. Average line spacing. ठीक है, इसमें हम क्या देख रहे हैं? If you see these lines, एक दूसरे के भिड़ नहीं रही है lines. They are a little far away from each other. घचड़ पचड़ नहीं हो रहा है ना. प्लस इतना भी दूर नहीं है कि बहुत और लाइंस इसके बीच में आ सके. कैन यू सी, ये अल्फाबेट के बीच में देयर इज सम गैप, बट नॉट अ लॉट ऑफ गैप. नाउ दिस इज अ लिटिल अंदाजा दैट वी रिक्वायर हियर, लिटिल सब्जेक्टिविटी, बट इन एसेंस द स्पेसिंग बिटवीन द लाइंस talk about your time management skills. So a person who writes an average line spacing, this person is able to manage things very well, is able to plan things ahead. अगर मेरे को 1 महीने बाद कुछ काम सबमिट करना है, दिवाली आ रही है, गिफ्ट हैम्पर्स रेडी करने हैं, तो मैं अभी से ही उसकी प्लानिंग स्टार्ट कर दूंगी, लास्ट मोमेंट तक वेट नहीं करूंगी. This is the analysis of average line spacing. Okay, these people are very good at time management. ठीक है, these people can follow the plan and they can actually execute plan very well. इनका स्ट्रैटेजी बनाना, बहुत सोच समझ के काम करते हैं. इनका दिन आप देखोगे कभी भी घचड़ पचड़ हौच पौच नहीं होता है. they are always systematic and they leave time कि चलो client को परसों submit करना है तो आज मेरा काम खत्म हो जाना चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं है कि परसों submit करना है और मैं सुबह काम खत्म करूं. So then of course my quality of work will also suffer. With these people, quality of work is also very good because they plan ahead. So if at all you suffer from the problem of time management and all those things, proper planning nahi hai, and if you feel aapka line spacing bahut pass hai, next time whenever you're writing anything on a blank piece of paper, make sure that your lines are a little far. हाँ, बहुत ज्यादा भी नहीं गैप छोड़ना है. उससे क्या होगा कि मैं सिर्फ प्लान कर रही हूँ, काम नहीं कर रही. ज्यादा गैप छोड़ दिया तो क्या होगा, काम तो मैं नहीं कर रही हूँ, मैं सिर्फ प्लान कर रही हूँ कि आज मेरा बच्चा जब स्कूल जाएगा उसके बाद मैं ये करूंगी, फिर जब वो आएगा मैं उसको लंच दूंगी, उसके बाद मैं ये करूंगी, उसके बाद मैं वो करूंगी, एक्सेट्रा. बट जब एक्चुअली टाइम आया मैं सो गई या मैं टीवी देखने लग गई, है ना. सो इवन दैट इज नॉट व्हाट वी वांट प्लानिंग अलॉन्ग विद एग्जीक्यूशन. So this is one aspect. और भी बहुत तरीके हैं to identify time management etc. But this is a best and the easiest method to identify time management. ये चीज समझ में आई. I hope this was easy and this was something that you can implement for your kids' handwriting, for your on your husband's handwriting, on your own handwriting. Yes, kids write on a ruled copy. On a ruled copy, you will not be able to identify this. So what you can do is you can ask your kid or your husband to write on a blank piece of paper. क्योंकि लाइन पेपर पे क्या होता है, जब रूल्ड पेपर होता है, वी डोंट हैव इनफ स्पेसिंग अवेलेबल टू अस, तो हमें उस पे फिक्स करना पड़ता है. सो व्हेनेवर वी टेक अ सैंपल फॉर एनालिसिस, चाहे किसी का भी हो, वी ऑलवेज स्टिक टू अ ब्लैंक पेपर, नॉट रूल्ड पेपर. ये चीज समझ में आया? ऑलराइट. एंड व्हेन यू चेंज योर हैंड राइटिंग इन द बेस्ट मैनर, okay, then it will work as a graphotherapy. जब आप सही तरीके से लिखने लगोगे and you practice that for 21 days, it will become a graphotherapy and you will notice automatically आप चीजें प्लान करने लग रहे हो, automatically आपका टाइम मैनेजमेंट बेटर होता जा रहा है, things like that. ठीक है? Okay, so this was the first topic. Next, let's move on to the next topic. The next is very, very important, confidence. Very important. And a fact, a very disturbing fact for that matter, you will be surprised to know that out of 100 people, jinka bhi sample analysis that I do, let's say I do an analysis of 100 people, 95 people suffer from the problem of underconfidence. It is that common. अंडर कॉन्फिडेंस इज दैट कॉमन. हमें लगता है कि सिर्फ हम अंडर कॉन्फिडेंट है, मुझे लगता है सिर्फ मैं अंडर कॉन्फिडेंट हूँ, बाकी की दुनिया नहीं है, मेरे को ही खाली प्रॉब्लम्स होता है, आई ओनली एम द वन हु इज हु इज वेरी शाय, नर्वस एंड थिंग्स लाइक दैट. 95% people feel underconfident, but they don't show it. Some people show it, some people do not show. But I was so shocked to see that. In fact, one of the major changes that I brought in my own handwriting is to change the confidence level. So when I was in school or when I learned graphology, people suggested, why don't you take this as a profession? So I was very, shocked, and I would laugh at them. मेरे से कौन सीखने आएगा? क्यों कोई मेरे से सुनेगा? I had a lot of self doubts कि अगर मुझसे कोई बड़ा आया, उसने मुझसे कोई डाउट पूछा, या let's say now I get teachers also, I get lawyers, I get principals, I get people from all sorts of profession. I am not afraid anymore, but earlier I was so underconfident that I felt, what if I say something wrong? What if somebody asks me a question and I don't know the answer to that? Okay, why will people come to me to study? There are so many other graphologists, उनके पास जाएंगे ना, क्यों 70 लोग मेरे पास सुनने के लिए आएंगे seminar, right? So I also suffered from the problem of underconfidence, and I changed that from my handwriting, and I saw a lot of changes in my own personal life. Professional to छोड़ो, personal life में I saw a lot of changes. Okay, so don't feel afraid to admit that yes, I am underconfident. Okay, that's the first step. Second step, feel that okay, change करना possible है. There is always a solution. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता personality है बदल जाएगी. There's always a solution. ठीक है? Now let's look into few things that we can identify from the handwriting and that you can change to make yourself feel more confident. First, you have all done a signature there. After your writing, you've done a signature. Just see the size of your signature and compare the size of your signature to that of your handwriting. जो आपका सिग्नेचर का साइज है उसको कंपेयर करो अपनी हैंडराइटिंग के साइज। ठीक है, अगर वो इक्वल है तो वो गलत है, अगर आपका सिग्नेचर छोटा है आपकी हैंडराइटिंग से तो वो गलत है। आइडियली your signature should be bigger than that of your handwriting. And when I say signature, I mean the small alphabets. For example, A, E, M, O. I don't mean your first alphabet. For example, for me, first alphabet is Priyanka. तो P मैं बहुत बड़ा बना सकती हूँ, but हो सकता है मैं इस तरीके से। So I mean these alphabets, not just the first alphabet. ठीक है? And you have to compare that from your handwriting. You always see that all the celebrities, when they do an autograph, what they do, बड़ा बड़ा signature करते हैं, क्योंकि जरूरत है उनको signature बड़ा करने की, because signature are your social or public appearance. Okay, it is a social identity, public identity. How do you behave when you go out in front of other people? That's signature. So when film stars are signing, of course they have to be loud. Of course they have to have that persona कि मैं बहुत confident हूँ boss, चाहे मैं अंडर कॉन्फिडेंट हूँ, बट मेरा सिग्नेचर तो बड़ा ही है ना, क्योंकि मैं पब्लिक में जाते ही कॉन्फिडेंट बन गई, राइट? सो आइडियली योर सिग्नेचर शुड बी स्लाइटली बिगर देन योर हैंडराइटिंग ऑलवेज, क्योंकि चाहे हम अंदर से कितने भी अंडर कॉन्फिडेंट है, व्हेन वी आर मीटिंग पीपल दे शुड नॉट फील दैट अबाउट अस. Okay, when you're meeting your clients, when you're selling your products, अगर if I'm, let's say you've come to the seminar and मैंने आपको डर डर के पढ़ा रही हूँ, guys, you know, this is the analysis and this is what happens when you write like this and things like that, half of you will leave the seminar. You will not have trust on me कि यार इसको आता भी है क्या खुद को. चाहे I can be a very good analyst, but you will not get confidence because I am not giving you confidence. Similarly, you all are, most of you are, you know, doing something or the other professionally. So it's important that your client should feel that you are confident. चाहे अंदर से मेरी कितनी भी फट रही हो या अंदर से कितना भी I am very very nervous, I should not let my clients see that. That's the first rule always. That is what I always tell my students. कितना भी घबरा रहे हो analysis के time पे, confidently गलत बोलो, लेकिन घबराना नहीं है. This is my rule that I always tell my students also. So no matter wherever you go, this should be the rule. In fact, I also get scared. Before coming to the seminar, I was preparing the content in the morning. I was like, लिख लेती हूँ वरना भूल गई तो. So of course, everyone gets scared. So don't worry. It's a process. It takes time, but it will come. So one improvement that you can do here, whenever you're signing, make sure it is a little bigger than the handwriting. ऐसा भी मत करना बहुत बड़ा लिख दिया. बहुत बड़ा मतलब क्या? Ego. Overconfidence. We don't want to come across as overconfident. हमें घमंडी नहीं लगना. We want to be confident. ठीक है? So just your signature should be slightly bigger than your handwriting. Always. ठीक है? I'm just giving you a rough idea. I'm not getting into details, into millimeters and all those things. That will make it very very you know, tricky. So I'm just giving you upper's overview that it should be slightly bigger than your handwriting. If it is equal, that is also not a problem, but ideally it should be bigger, definitely not smaller. ठीक है? Signatures are your social identity, your public appearance. When you're socializing, that is what personality is, what you show in your signature. ठीक है? So ऐसा नहीं लगना चाहिए मेरे friends को कि I'm underconfident. मैं घबरानी नहीं चाहिए whenever I step out in public. So this will help you in that sense. One more thing, confidence के बहुत सारे backups in handwriting. I'll take all the questions later quickly, but let me just, you know, continue with this. So another thing that you can identify your confidence level from your handwriting is capital I. Capital I is an indicator that talks about yourself. आपके खुद के बारे में and your relationship with your parents. Capital I talks about that. ठीक है? See the height of capital letter I. Okay, look at the height. ये जो height है capital letter I का, ये चाहे आप ऐसा I लिख रहे हो, चाहे आप ऐसा I लिख रहे हो, चाहे आप let's say ये वाला I लिख रहे हो, कोई भी I लिख रहे हो capital I, always look at the height of capital letter I. Your height of capital letter I should be big. How big? लेटर ए से बड़ा 2 गुना बड़ा होना चाहिए लेटर ए से. It should be twice the height of letter A in your handwriting, not signature, in your handwriting. जो लेटर A है आपकी हैंडराइटिंग का, अंदाजन कैपिटल आई उससे दुगना होना चाहिए, उससे थोड़ा बड़ा ही होना चाहिए, उससे छोटा नहीं होना चाहिए. So my capital letter I should not be like this. Why? Because अगर मैं लेटर A को डबल करूं, that becomes bigger than my capital I. This is a sign of underconfidence. So the height of capital letter I talks about the level of self-confidence. It should not be, the height should not be very big. क्यों? It will become overconfidence. है ना? So इतना ज़्यादा confidence कि it becomes ego. We don't want ego. We want good level of confidence. So if at all you find, and I've seen this in a lot of people, you know, females handwriting, homemakers or working women, उनका somehow I में गड़बड़ होता ही होता है. Because you know if the lines are different, it means fluctuating confidence. कहीं तो capital I बड़ा हो गया, कहीं छोटा हो गया, इसका मतलब आपका confidence stable नहीं है. It means sometimes your confidence is good, sometimes it's bad. Okay, so ideally your height should be proper 2 times the height of your small letter A. In your handwriting, we're not talking about signature here. Signature के बारे में बात करके आ गए. Handwriting is more important than your signature. ठीक है? One more thing. Sometimes people, what they do is they use a small letter I when they are talking about their own self. For example, I am, I like, I love, I live. So whenever I'm talking about myself, if I write a small letter I, जब मैं खुद के बारे में बात कर रही हूँ, हाँ, जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल लिव लिखना है तो लिव या लाइक के अंदर आई जो है वो तो स्मॉल आएगा ही आएगा. आई एम जस्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट द फैक्ट व्हेन आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट माई सेल्फ, and instead of a capital letter I am using a small letter I. That's absolutely not acceptable. Not good at all. It talks about extremely low self-confidence. And these people don't try things. So if you have a kid who writes like that, he will tell you, मम्मी मेरे को वो पसंद नहीं है करना, मम्मी मेरे को इधर नहीं जाना, उधर नहीं जाना, मुझे मन नहीं करना. But उसको जाना है, but he feels that I will not be able to do well. So therefore, let me not go. Let me not apply there. Let me not try things. Let me not take an initiative there because, you know, मम्मी मेरे को मन नहीं है, but असल में मेरे को मन है, but मेरे को घबराहट होती है. So these are those people who will not accept that they are underconfident. They'll give you excuses. पढ़ाई कौन करता है मम्मी? इतनी क्या पढ़ाई करके क्या हो गया? किसी को कुछ नहीं मिलता. That kind of behavior. If you see this, now important thing to note here is that we are talking about small letter I when it is supposed to be a capital letter. That's the catch. हाँ, इधर मत डाल देना आप capital I, LIVE के अंदर small I ही आएगा. So don't get confused there. So these were few indicators of confidence. If at all you use any of these 3 indicators, change into the ideal type. I've told you the ideal type. I've told you the correction. I've told you the graphotherapy. Implement in your handwriting and then practice that for 21 days and that's it. Khatam. Okay? So this was the second topic that we wanted to study, which was confidence. All right, move on. Let's talk about the next thing, which is called as socializing skill. Which is called as selling skills. Selling. Sales. Okay? Now, if I give you an option, somebody asked me, should I write with a black pen? I said, any pen that you want. Okay? But if I give you an option, कि आप black pen से लिखोगे, blue pen से लिखोगे, red pen से लिखोगे, या pencil से लिखोगे, या कोई और color के pen से लिखोगे. In general, what do you prefer? Do you prefer pencil or do you prefer a pen? Okay, so you can maybe just write in front of your sample or something. Okay, so will you prefer a pencil or you prefer a pen? So if you want to become better in your selling skills, marketing skills, start using a pencil sometimes, not always, sometimes. Because people who write with pencil, they're very street smart, शातिर होते हैं लोग. They know किसको क्या बोलना है जिससे मेरा product बिक जाए. है ना, कोई प्रॉब्लम आ गई, मुझे पता है किसको कैसे हैंडल करना है। वो एम्प्लॉय कह रहा है छुट्टी देनी है, मुझे छुट्टी चाहिए, मुझे छुट्टी नहीं देनी है, मुझे पता है उसको कैसे हैंडल करूं ताकि वो छुट्टी भी ना ले। सो पीपल हु ऑल्सो राइट विथ पेंसिल, they have the knack of dealing with people. So Garima says that she sometimes uses a pencil. That's a good thing. I'm not telling you always use a pencil, sometimes. So that will help to build that selling skill. कि जब आप किसी प्रोडक्ट को या किसी चीज को आपको सेल करना है, राइट, आपको क्या करना है, क्लाइंट को कन्विंस करना है दैट यू शुड बाय माय प्रोडक्ट इज द बेस्ट, आपको इस रेट पे कोई नहीं मिलेगा इस तरीके का प्रोडक्ट, बेस्ट है, ले लो, है ना, दिस इज व्हाट वी डू। And with the help of pencil, you can try and inculcate these things. I am again not telling you कि सारा कुछ pencil से लिखना चालू करो, but sometimes try to write with a pencil. Otherwise, blue ball pen, not black pen, not green pen, not red pen, only a blue pen, not black pen, and sometimes with a pencil. Let's not get into why or not all those colors. But pencil se the important point is, if you start inculcating things with pencil, it will give a boost to your selling skills. Okay? All right, moving on. Let's talk about the next thing, which is communication. So a lot of you, or maybe some of you, might have faced or are constantly facing problems related to miscommunication. चाहे पर्सनल लाइफ में हो चाहे प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में। पर्सनल लाइफ में इन द सेंस दैट लेट्स से माय इंटेंशंस वर राइट एंड मैंने मेरी सिस्टर इन लॉ को या मैंने मेरे कजिन को या मैंने मेरे इन लॉज को कुछ बोल दिया, है ना, मेरा इंटेंशन वो नहीं था, बट उन्होंने गलत तरीके से ले लिया, है ना, कुछ अलग तरीके से ले लिया, या फिर यू नो दे मिसअंडरस्टूड, और इनफैक्ट दिस कैन हैपन विद फ्रेंड्स, और इनफैक्ट दिस कैन हैपन विद योर क्लाइंट्स। ओके, वंस इन अ व्हाइल इट हैपेंस विद एवरीवन, दैट्स ओके, सबके साथ होता है, उसमें कुछ नहीं कर सकते, मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग हो गई तो हो गई, बट सर्टेन काइंड ऑफ पीपल विल फेस दिस रेगुलरली, constantly. This we should avoid. Okay, and who are those people? People who do not write in a cursive handwriting, people who write in a disconnected handwriting. So if you are a person who's using a cursive handwriting कैसी हो गई? This is cursive handwriting when I'm connecting alphabets in a word. Disconnected handwriting is when I'm not connecting my letters. So people who write like this can face a lot of problems of misunderstanding. If you write in both, that's good, that's not bad. But people who only write like this, that is a problem. Miscommunication, misunderstanding. So you will find आपके customers, आप समझाना कुछ चाहते हो, समझ कुछ और है, you know, in your in-laws, your cousins, your family, your friends, there's always a miscommunication, there's always a misunderstanding. There will be, you know, they will not understand your true intention. They will always feel, you know, what are you trying to say? Your things don't make sense, is what they will feel. जो आप बोल रहे हो समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा, कुछ भी बिना सर पैर की बातें कर रहे हो, like that. They will also feel that they switch topics also very frequently. मैं अभी वेदर के बारे में बात कर रही हूँ, एकदम से मैं चॉकलेट्स के बारे में बात करने लगी. So this is not what we recommend. So in general, as a graphologist, we recommend for you to have a cursive handwriting, mixed handwriting. But mix में भी बहुत चीजें होती है. But in general, cursive is a good kind of a handwriting compared to a print. इसको हम बोलते हैं print handwriting, disconnected handwriting. So if at all you write in this, you need to change it. ठीक है? Not suggested, not good to have. This creates a lot of problems, personal, professional, both. ठीक है? So this was about communication. Next, let's talk about socializing. Let's look at socializing. So all of us, we live in a society, and I'm sure in Kolkata, I have a lot of relatives in Kolkata. So I know how social you guys are. especially people in Kolkata, you guys love to celebrate festivities, you guys love celebration, guys love meeting people, family, etc. You guys are always looking forward for that. So you know, let's look at you know, a trait जिससे हमें पता चलता है this person is anti-social, या इसको socialize करने में घबराहट होती है. It could be a student, it could be, you know, your husband, it could be any family member, your friends, etc., etc. So people who find it difficult to socialize, people who get nervous or uncomfortable when socialized. Okay, meeting people in public, etc. They don't like a lot of people. They are only happy with 1 or 2 people or alone. So those people, that we can know from letter C. Chahe capital ho, chahe small ho. So this we can identify from letter C. Ideally, letter C is supposed to be like this. It is supposed to be curvy. है ना? Letter C curvy होता है. Letter C is formed with, letter C is nothing but a semicircle. Right? This is what letter C is, semicircle. So this is ideal, good to have. ऐसा ही होना चाहिए letter C. जैसा हम English में स्कूल में सिखाया है. But over the period of time, some people change the formation unconsciously, subconsciously, and they start making the letter C maybe a little angular. या फिर they start making letter C like this. Okay? Or maybe they start making letter C like can. Squeezed. Or maybe they start writing letter C like this. Squeezed. It is supposed to be round and curvy, but I'm making it squeezed, or I'm putting an angle, or I'm पिचका दिया मैंने इसको. Right? This will talk about a person who does not like to socialize, is anti-social, gets nervous around people. उसको समझ में नहीं आता मैं क्या बोलूं क्या नहीं बोलूं, लोग मुझे देख रहे हैं, and things like that. So this is not good to have. If you have a problem in letter C, change it to the ideal formation, be it capital or small, doesn't matter. Capital or small, doesn't matter. Okay. This is about socializing. Another thing about socializing. Look at your signature. Sometimes what people do is they put a circle around their signature. चाहे वो सर्कल ना पूरे नाम के आगे हो या सर्कल लेट्स से इस तरीके से. So can you see that there is a circle here? Some people cover the entire name, some people just cover 1 or 2 alphabet with a circle. This is what we call as encircling. इसको हम बोलते हैं encircling. Let me also show you a sample. A lot of people put encircling. This we're only talking about the signature, nothing else. So I'm going to share my screen. Can you see this? Encircling. चाहे वो पूरे सिग्नेचर को कवर किया है, चाहे वो थोड़े से पार्ट को कवर किया है. So if somebody puts a circle around their signature, this also stops them from socializing. This also puts a barrier. It makes the person uncomfortable, plus at the same time it makes other people also uncomfortable socializing with this person. क्यों? क्या हो गया? Basically I'm trying to create a shield or a bubble around. कि don't you dare enter into my personal space. Yes, closed people. So, you know, these are those people when they'll go out in public, they will be maintaining this kind of body language. है ना? किसी से eye contact भी नहीं करेंगे, नीचे देखते रहेंगे, smile नहीं करेंगे, ऐसे सड़ा सा मुंह बना के रखेंगे. Why does this happen? Because, you know, they feel insecure when going out in public. They're very closed. They try to, they want a protection around their own self. Okay, so they will not let other people come close to them. They will not allow people to, interact with them. They will not easily be, comfortable with socializing with other people. Okay, so this is not what we want. So you are suggested to remove these kind of circles around your signature. सही नहीं है ये, ठीक है? So this is another trait which can stop you or hamper your socializing skills. Okay, so this is about socializing. There could be more traits. If these things don't apply, but you are an antisocial person, there can be more traits in the handwriting, but these are more generic and easy to understand traits that we wanted to cover in this webinar. Okay, let's move on to the last topic that we want to understand is public speaking. So somebody is saying that signatures cannot be changed. Yes, you have signatures on your official documents, and we recommend that you don't change the signature on official documents. As graphologists, we believe that you should have 2 signatures, because every week I get 2 calls saying that ma'am mera signature fraud ho gaya ya kahin ne kisi ne copy kar liya, hai na? Because whenever we go out even to buy a pen, we do our regular signature which is on official documents. Or when you go out in a restaurant and they ask you to fill a form, you do your regular signature. It can easily be copied. I can copy your signatures. Okay, so it is suggested you keep your official signature on official documents and form another signature which you do for unofficial purpose. For example, signing in your son's diary, filling forms, and giving internal approval to your clients or employees, and those things. So jahan bhi unofficial documents pe signature karna hai, you use your new signature. Don't change your official signatures on your official documents. Short signatures talk about impulsiveness. Whenever somebody only writes short signature, for example, so P likh diya ya P agar PA likh diya, so they talk about a little impulsiveness, hadbadi mein decision lena, etc. But let's not go there. All right, last thing, public speaking. So as person, we all would like to address a huge group of people. We would love to interact with people, address people, stand on a platform and speak, take seminars, webinars. Acha lagta hai, sabko acha lagta hai, right? But how do you improve that skill? Because that requires skill. You can't just go up there and just talk like we're just talking to people talking. There has to be voice modulation. There has to be proper facial expression. There has to be a proper body language, etc. है ना, वो सारी चीजें देखना पड़ता है. So if at all you want to get into something like this, or if you are already into something like this, one thing that can help you is letter F. There is a particular type of letter F that can help you to build or to get more confident while speaking in public. Okay, so this is the letter F that we want to talk about. Just this F. इस तरीके का लेटर. So basically, what is this letter F? Understand the formation. कुछ भी नहीं है ये. So whenever there is a news reporter and he wants to take your interview, they have these kind of mics. They give you, ma'am, please कुछ बोलिए, आपका क्या comment है. These are the mics. यहाँ पे लिखा होता है NDTV or something like that. Okay, this is nothing but it looks like that podium or a mic. That microphone that people wear on their collar looks like that. This F. Okay, so if you have few letter Fs like that, not all of them, don't make all your Fs like that. Don't do that. Okay, but include 3-4 letter Fs in this kind in your handwriting, and that will help you to improve your skills as a soft skill trainer, to become more confident while addressing a public, चाहे a politician हो या फिर आप if you just are a speaker, etc. So that this can actually help you to address the public. Very good orators, debaters. So these people are good at speaking in public. They can catch attention of other people. Even when you're socializing, if these people, you will notice these people from far away, that they will be in the center and other people are looking at like that. So just again, one caution, do not include all the Fs like that. जो आप regularly बना रहे हो वो भी बनाओ, थोड़े से in the handwriting. Try and include that. Okay, right? So this is one thing that you can improve. Last thing that you can improve. Look at the size of your letter A, height of your letter A. Small letter A. आपकी writing का height small letter A का देखना है, सिर्फ height देखना है. And see if it is very big, if it is very small, it is medium. How is it? People who write small letter A's, height, we are just looking at the height, nothing else. So people who write small letter A's in the handwriting, these people don't like attention. वो ऐसे लोग हैं जो ना आप क्राउड में बात कर रहे हो, ये लोग पीछे खड़े रहेंगे और हंसते रहेंगे, या they will notice people. They don't like limelight. People who write medium या थोड़ा सा बड़ा, they enjoy limelight, they enjoy attention. They want to be the center of attention. They want to be speaker. They don't want to listen, but they want to talk. They want to interact. बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ा भी नहीं लिखना है. That is vanity. This is not good. We don't want कि हम ही बोलते रहें और सुने ही ना किसी की, है ना? But अगर बहुत छोटा height है letter A का, then you can increase the height a little. Only we're talking about letter A. So you can increase the height a little so that you feel confident with the attention that you get or being in the limelight, etc. So these are few things that you can do in your own handwriting. Right? So with this, we have come to an end to the topic of public speaking as well. So we've covered 6 topics till now. We covered confidence, time management, public speaking, socializing, communication, and selling skills. So this is what I wanted to talk about in today's webinar, and I think we've also exceeded the time a little. But yes, all up to you guys now.
Very, very, very insightful. So many takeaways. So many takeaways. Now, anyone have any question? Please ask.
Nandini,
You can
Priyanka,
ask me that.
Nandini was asking that can I make 7 years old write a sample in a sample paper?
No, don't make such young kids write, or don't collect their samples because they're too young. We generally prefer working on handwritings of children above 14 years of age. Below that, let them develop their own handwriting. We only work with children below 14 years when there is a problematic case. Only then. Otherwise, let them be. Once they are 14, then you try and improve their handwriting. But try not to do that before 14.
Okay. Next, Manisha ji wants to ask if someone writes very nearer while writing in our lines, if the words are very nearer, what does that?
Words or lines?
Lines, words are very near. You said that the lines, you should keep a different equal lines while writing. If the words are very near, what does that signify?
See, line spacing talks about time management. Word spacing talks about how much, how close or how far we want to be from other people. So how much distance we want to keep between us and others. So word spacing talks about completely different topic. Line spacing talks about completely different topic. So we only covered line spacing. So when the lines are very close to one another, it means haphazard, hodgepodge, no time management, no planning, है ना? कैसे भी काम कर रहे हैं, getting bored of things very easily, all those things.
Ma'am, can I ask a question?
Yes, I think you can go ahead.
How do I write my initial? I need to write my initial on some papers. So my name is Anjana Sharma. So I would like to write A and S. So how do I write so that it is perfect?
I will not recommend for you to only write A and S. I will recommend that you also include your surname. So like I said, only writing initials makes a person more impulsive. And there are more negative traits associated. So we prefer that, you should not just use your initials, but rather, also include your surname in the signature.
You mean to say I can write A Sharma?
Yes.
Because there are lots of documents which I need to sign, like 50 or 100 papers. So all the papers I need to write my, okay. And one more thing, when I'm writing my name, if now letter N is followed by letter A. So how do I write A? It's from the down or from up? How do I take the line if I'm writing in cursive, right?
This is good.
Small n and write small n and small a. So after N, I'm writing A. If any handwriting I'm writing, any letter I'm writing, I need to write A. M-A. So yeah, M-A, fine. So how did you write, from down or from up? A, how do I write A?
From bottom.
Okay.
This is also good, and even this is also. They both have different meanings, but both are good.
I do write from down. So I was suspecting I'm doing something wrong.
Both are good.
Both are good. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Priyanka,
Yes, Ashmi, yes.
if different size of I comes in a sentence, well, what does that?
Yes, there is a possibility of different eyes. There are, if we look at the core structure, there are more than 40 types of capital letter I that are possible. So it depends which letter I that is coming in the handwriting. So it depends on so many other things. So we have to see what all eyes are there. If there's nothing negative, that's fine. But if there are negative eyes that can come, so we need to avoid them. But more than 40 capital eyes are possible in a handwriting.
Okay, next question is, what about a mix of both the handwriting, like cursive and by separate, while writing separate? What does that mean?
Suggested. It is suggested.
It is suggestible. What about people who are confident in public speaking but don't have but don't like socializing? What would you say about
in that case, check your letter C. So socializing is only letter C. So there can be a problem in socializing. So improve the letter C. And if you're good in public speaking, that's so good.
Seema Sodani, I cut the S in Seema Sodani. S is like cut, karna is both for Seema Sodani is good or not?
Not good. Not good at all. Not good at all.
Drawing lines below the signature, is it right?
Yes, it is good, but then there are also rules and regulations associated. You have to stick to those rules. If you cannot stick to those rules, don't draw a line. But if you want to draw a line, you can draw a line, but you have to stick to certain rules that we have in signatures.
Should we give the dot also? Can we give the dot after signature?
No. So dots look very innocent कि एक dot ही तो लगा दिया, बीच में लगा दिया, after लगा दिया, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? But dots या तो मत लगाओ, या लगाना है तो signature के नीचे लगाना है. After नहीं लगाना, बीच में नहीं लगाना. For example, like somebody is saying A Sharma, तो ऐसा नहीं लगाना है dot. Not at all good to have. So dot या तो मत लगाओ, या फिर लगाना है तो keep it after the signature or something like that. So there are rules. So in signatures, we have a lot of rules that we have to adhere to before finalizing a signature. But we try to maintain a signature. We try to make a signature which is simple, less complicated. कि जितना less complicated आपका signature होगा, उतनी less complicated आपकी life होगी. You have to understand that. So there are a few things that we have to keep in mind, and we are strict about signature. Handwriting में we are very flexible. ऐसा नहीं तो ऐसा कर लो, कोई बात नहीं. ऐसा नहीं तो वैसा भी कर लो, कोई बात नहीं. But signatures में we are very strict.
Is writing only first name is in signature is okay, or should we write the surname?
Surname also.
Surname also. Can you shed some light on the slant in the handwriting?
That'll be a very, very different topic, and that will take a lot of time. There are slants. They talk about moods, emotions, extroversion, introversion, but I think we should not go there at the moment. We don't have so much time.
Could you please show the right form of alphabet J?
J, small
J.
letter J can be something like this.
कविता दीदी का सिग्नेचर हम लोग को चाहिए, जो हम लोग एनालिस्ट करना चाहते हैं. Somebody is asking that.
Mine is very, very simple. I just
Can
write
you
it in
analyze
there.
कविता दीदी का signature?
Letter, simple, best.
Yeah, I just write my full name. That's it.
And I will also say that, if you're not comfortable discussing the signature in front of other people, you can say no, because we don't want to, impose or tell somebody else's personality and things like that. We don't want to make things complicated.
signature should be on a straight form, or it can be go high and up to
Ascending. It should go ascending.
show that once. How?
Sorry?
Can you show once how
So,
it should
let's
be?
say if I'm writing Priyanka.
It's going high,
Yes, upward.
upward. It should not be a straight line.
It should not be.
When you're signing the documents or signing any kind of checks and all, even it should be the same.
Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, it should be the same.
Is it advisable to write a double story of as
Signature.
alphabet shown in single or stored?
You mean signature double story? For example, not good.
My handwriting is cursive, but often I face miscommunication and misunderstanding with close relatives.
So that could be related to some other traits we'll have to identify. So like in the seminar, we only spoke about few things, but in actuality, in handwriting and signature, we have more backups for the same things. So for example, when we talk about miscommunication, it could be because of other reasons as well. So we need to, in that case, first identify what is causing that miscommunication and problem, and then rectify that. Because we could not talk about all those things because it required me to give you a lot of knowledge. बहुत चीजें पढ़ानी पड़ती उसके पहले, इसलिए I have not covered, purposely not covered those points because of the lack of time. But yes, there could be more traits which are responsible for miscommunication. This was the major and common problem. Print handwriting was the major problem.
During writing, my space is reducing gradually. What does that signifies?
So when your writing or signature reduces gradually, that's the important point here. It means your impression on people also will reduce gradually. So when you meet them initially, they will feel very highly of you, that okay, oh my god, this is so person who's so intelligent, so good, etc., etc. But when you start to interact with them more, they will stop giving you as much importance as they used to. They will stop valuing you as much as they used to. So gradual decrease ka ye matlab.
Okay, my short sign of the first name is a smaller. Initial is smaller. So is it a
Not
surname is full? No, not good. Starting with it should be we should start with capital letters while signing.
Yes. Yes. Initials should always be capital.
I think that's
Some people have also raised their hands. Do we allow them to speak?
I think you can take a few, but because there are too many. Just take one question from each person, Priyanka. Okay.
Yes. Richa, can you go ahead?
Hello.
Hi, Richa.
Yeah, hi Priyanka. So my question is that my daughter is in class 12 and her time management is poor, and also she lacks focus in her studies, like she cannot concentrate. She will sit for hours, but she cannot concentrate. So what letters would be associated, and do you recommend that I get her handwriting analyzed?
What is her age?
She is 17.
Yeah, you can do that. Also, time management हमने देखा. In terms of focus, you can check her eye dots, whether the eye dots are very high up in the air, or this is generic, most common problem that we see, that these people they lack focus or they get distracted, low productivity. So this, you can also check that and ask her, if this is the case, ask her to reduce the gap. Otherwise you can also get an analysis there. But this can be a possibility for sure.
Okay. And time management, I should check the spacing between the lines, you said?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Nandini, you have a question?
Yes, sir. Hi, Priyanka.
Hi.
As you were saying कि signature में ascension होना चाहिए थोड़ा ऊपर की तरफ, so how much of ascension is recommended?
About 45 degrees. So between 30 to 45 degrees. If you want to get technical, this is like the
Will that not be an exaggeration?
It will not be an exaggeration. We do not recommend such an ascension in the handwriting when we talk about the lines, but in signature between 30 to 45 degrees. So 45 kitna ho gaya? This is 90 degrees, 45 is this. So between this and this is what should be the ascension.
Thank you.
Yes. Deepika, you have a question?
Yeah, hi Priyanka, thank you for the session. I just wanted to know, you said there should be two signatures, like one which should be official signature and one in general signature. So like in my general signature, my first name has just the initial, that is D, and then I write my surname. Is that fine? Or because then what is the difference if I have to write the full name? Then there is basically almost no difference between the two.
No difference at all.
Yeah. And when gradually I'm writing a paragraph, my spacing between the lines keep on reducing. Initially, there is lots, and then it keeps going down when you're on a blank paper.
So tell me something, that as a person, do you get more occupied during evening?
Yes.
That's why the spacing is reducing, because so it is very interesting to see that by handwriting we can also know your schedule, your time, like आप कितने बजे से काम करना start करते हो, कब ज़्यादा काम करते हो, कितने बजे काम खत्म करते हो, even that you can get to know about somebody's personality. So the fact that your line spacing is reducing towards the end, it means evening में you are working more compared to the morning. You're more productive in the evening.
Correct. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Thanks.
So do you have a question?
I have a question. My name is Radhika. Hi, Priyanka. I write my signature as Radhika Malhotra Rawat. My, is this correct to use three? I mean, both my maiden name as my and my married name.
No. So this has become a trend. Kareena Kapoor Khan, Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, so they've started to use two surnames, and that makes the signature imbalanced. We do not recommend.
Okay. And what if the alphabets are illegible? Your initial is there, and then the words, because you don't want your signature to be copied or you want it to be unique, so you kind of merge your words, alphabets together. So is that recommended?
To what extent we have to see. Thoda bahut, this is called as threading. Like that. So thoda bahut chalta hai, thoda bahut recommended hai, but zyada nahi. So we have to actually see what part is getting, coming in threading, etc., etc. So it depends. Here I will not be able to give you like a yes or no answer. This will be a gray area.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, Shruti.
Yeah, actually what I do is that for my initial like Shruti, for S, what I do is that I use the small cursive S, but I write it in a big font. And I've been doing that since childhood.
Not good. This is
Not
again
good.
a sign of underconfidence.
Okay.
Not good. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Hi, Garima. Yes, your question. Mute. You've put yourself on mute.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
So Priyanka, whenever I sign, my signature is Garima. So
Yes.
I write G capital and then write Garima, but there is a gap between G and A,
That's
like
fine.
G and Harima.
That's fine.
And secondly, when I write, sometimes I write, put my signatures very smoothly. And sometimes I don't know why, but I get stuck in between. I write A, Garima's A, last one, very small. I mean, I don't know why it happens. Whenever I have to sign somewhere, sometimes I do it very smoothly, like the same signature every time. And sometimes I get stuck and then I write A very small, the last one. Otherwise, it's normal.
So we have to see if this is going to be like this is a specific case. So firstly, we'll have to see why is this happening. Maybe your A is falling down a little, or whatever the reasons are. There could be 5 different reasons for that. So for this, I'll have to have a look at the signature. Only then I will be able to comment, not before that.
And my second question is, like, nowadays, we don't really write anything. We are always texting or we are only emailing.
Yes.
So how we can
actually improve our writing because we are not writing. In fact, the kids are also not writing. We are compelling them to write, but if they get a chance, they don't want to write. So how we can do it? How it will impact?
See, it will have a major impact, and you will see, because since the time people after COVID, especially, people have stopped to write, and you will see so many mental problems also cropping up. So many, people suffering from a lot of depression, anxiety, etc., because people have stopped to write. This is one reason. And now to answer the second part of the question, that what happens if people, do not write, or let's say, how do we improve? So for that we make the person practice. जो भी problematic चीज है ना, सिर्फ उसी को ही हम लोग practice करने बोलते हैं, nothing else. We don't ask you to write the entire handwriting every day. We just ask you to write, let's say if letter J is a problematic letter, we will just ask you to write letter J, correct formation. So this is how we improve. But yes, we should write more of. Okay. All right. Yes, Anita.
Yes. In my signature, my name is Anita Agarwal. तो कैपिटल ए के संग कोई भी बगल वाला लेटर को आप जोड़ नहीं पाते ना. ए अनीता, ए एन, फिर मेरे को एन सेपरेटली लिखना पड़ता है.
बिल्कुल.
ए के संग एन कनेक्ट नहीं कर पाती हूँ. अग्रवाल में भी सेम. बाकी सारे लेटर्स का इट्स ओके. अच्छा, वन थिंग, ये राइटिंग में भी कुछ ऐसा होता है कि हेल्थ इश्यू नहीं रहे एकदम भी. मेरी बेटी को ना हेल्थ इश्यू हमेशा रहता है, हमेशा.
क्या आपके फैमिली में किसी में सिग्नेचर्स के ऊपर बहुत घचड़ पचड़ हो रहा है क्या आप लोगों की फैमिली में? सो दैट कैन आल्सो कॉज हेल्थ इश्यूज इन द फैमिली. सो एक दूसरे के ऊपर एक आ रहे हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल प्रियंका अग्रवाल, इसी के ऊपर लिख दिया मैंने, थिंग्स लाइक दैट. चेक दैट आल्सो, दैट कैन क्रिएट हेल्थ इश्यूज इन द फैमिली. प्लस इफ योर डॉटर इज सफरिंग फ्रॉम हेल्थ इश्यूज, तो उसकी राइटिंग से भी वी कैन ट्राई एंड इम्प्रूव whatever extent we can the health issues. We can do that.
तो उसके हमेशा कहीं ना कहीं पेन रहेगा.
Check this also. जो signatures है ना in your family, whoever is there in your house, check the signatures, see if there are no overlapping. Overlapping is what we call them.
जैसे मेरे हस्बैंड का और मेरी डॉटर का किसी का भी ओवरलैपिंग नहीं है. मेरे ब्रदर इन लॉ का ऐसे लगता है कि वो जैसे आप बोलते हैं इनसर्कलिंग, वो पूरा एक अपना नाम.
इनसर्कलिंग चलेगा. ओवरलैपिंग इज अ लिटिल डिफरेंट. वी हैव नॉट कवर्ड दैट इन द कोर्स. बट
ओवरलैपिंग किसी का भी नहीं है.
So then डॉटर का राइटिंग से ही देखना पड़ेगा.
अच्छा, और एक चीज मैंने ऐसी किसी से सुना था कि जैसे जी वाई ये सब कुछ भी लिखते हैं ना, इसमें बड़ा लूप बनाना चाहिए नीचे, जिससे ना बोलते हैं कि मनी थोड़ा स्टोर रहता है.
तो वो सब ना, ये सब चीजें ना एस्ट्रोलॉजर्स और ये सब डालते हैं, छोटा सा न्यूमरोलॉजिस्ट. तो इतना ऐसा बड़े जितना बड़ा मनी बैग बनाओगे, ऐसा नहीं है आपके पास पैसे ज्यादा आ जाएंगे. इसका मतलब अंबानी के तो मनी बैग में भी इतना बड़ा होगा. So ऐसा नहीं होता. Yes, letter ING is related to money. That's true. But ऐसा नहीं है कि आप जितना बड़ा बनाओगे उतने पैसे आपके पास आएंगे. So
और छोटा बनाएंगे तो कम आएगा.
ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. ये थोड़ा मिसकंसेप्शन है. Yes. Moving on. Yes, Namrata.
Yeah, you said कि डॉट नहीं डालना चाहिए सिग्नेचर में. उससे क्या होता है?
Depends on the placement of the dot. बीच में डाल रहे हो या एंड में डाल रहे हो.
जैसे एन डॉट दमानी डॉट ऐसे लिखते हूँ मैं.
डॉट दमानी डॉट नॉट गुड. यहाँ पे एंड में भी आपने डॉट लगाया, बीच में भी डॉट लगाया. प्रॉब्लम्स विद फैमिली, इश्यूज विद कुड बी मदर और मदर इन लॉ. इफ यू आर मैरिड, इट कुड बी विद मदर इन लॉ, और दिस कैन आल्सो टॉक अबाउट प्रॉब्लम्स विद हस्बैंड.
Okay, and kids nowadays are using ruled copies always. So how can we get them to change their line spacing?
Don't. बच्चों को रूल्ड कॉपी कर रहे हैं तो करने दो, बिकॉज स्कूल्स आर आस्किंग देम टू डू इट. बट फॉर एन एनालिसिस वी आस्क अनरूल्ड पेपर, क्योंकि हम लोग बहुत सारे टॉपिक्स एनालाइज कर सकते हैं, अदरवाइज वी कांट डू इट ऑन अ रूल्ड पेपर.
When we ask her to write on a unruled paper, वो बहुत क्लोज लिख रही है. वो कैसे चेंज करें?
क्लोज मतलब
there is no line spacing.
You need to increase the line spacing. That will require a graphotherapy. You can come to me for help, or you can give her a graphotherapy where you make her practice for 21 days the correct pattern, and then after that you can stop. That is a graphotherapy. You have to make that change in her handwriting.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Rachna.
Yeah, so I just wanted to check. I'm Rachna Lohia. So IA. आई में डॉट तो आएगा ही.
बिल्कुल आएगा.
हाँ. And is it important to write to put a line beneath the signature?
No, not
No?
required. डालना है आपकी
Alright.
मर्जी है, but उसमें भी rules and regulations you have to adhere to. But नहीं डालना है, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yes, Swati.
Hi, Priyanka. The I dot which you made, it was like a circle. So if we just put a dot, is it okay?
Absolutely fine.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Yes, Shanu.
Hi, I just wanted to say hi. And सब कुछ ही तुम बता दो कि हम क्या करेंगे फिर. नहीं. It was a really nice session. That is all I wanted to say. Thanks.
Thank you. So I think we've covered all the questions so far.
Yes.
Do we take more questions or do we stop here?
So we have to stop now because otherwise it will keep on going and going.
Yes. Yes. So just one more thing, that, you know, we talked about so many things about the handwriting. This is one caution: don't call yourselves a graphologist. ऐसा दूसरों की writing में आप changes मत करते जाना until unless you're very sure, because आपको नहीं पता कुछ आपने change किया और उसकी वजह से कुछ और गड़बड़ हो गया. You know, because smallest of things can play an important role. For example, अगर मैं Y लिख रही हूँ ना, so अगर मैंने इधर gap डाला है या फिर मैंने इधर gap नहीं डाला है, the analysis completely changes, and that is what we study in the course. So just one small advice, although I've shared a lot of knowledge which probably you know, I should not have shared without giving a proper caution and everything, because you know, because of the fact कि misuse ना हो knowledge. So the only caution that I want to give you, and only just be mindful, हर किसी की writing आप change करते मत जाना, because you do not have entire information. मैंने जो share किया knowledge, that's only bits and pieces. So in fact, just to cover a capital letter I, we take 2 classes, which is about you know, 2 or 3 hours. इतना टाइम लगता है एक कैपिटल लेटर आई को कवर करने में. सो सारे अल्फाबेट्स में अलग अलग टाइम लगता है. जो हमने लाइन स्पेसिंग पढ़ा है, इट टेक्स the topic of spacing, it takes about 3.5 hours. So I have just shared bits and pieces of glimpses. I've just given you glimpses. That's it. So do not feel that now you are entitled to change other people's handwriting. Do not feel कि अब मैं अपने बच्चों की writing ऐसे ही change कर दूंगी. Doubt है, question है, do not move ahead, because you do not know what changes it can you know, bring in somebody else's handwriting. आपको खुद के ऊपर जितना experiment करना है आप करो, that is your call. But do not do it with other people. It's just one piece of advice that I will give to everyone attending the seminar. You are on mute, Sandhya.
Am I audible now?
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much, Priyanka, for this wonderful session. We will surely apply on ourselves only. This is your advice, and we won't give any other our advice for this. And even we'll go to you only. We won't change them.
Yes, thank you so much. That makes me more relaxed.
Thank you so much. And sure, everyone is having so many takeaways for themselves only. Thank you. Thank you. So many thank you. And thank you, Kavita, our founder, and our mentor, Nidhi Mohta, for supporting and guiding us continuously. And last but not the least, our cafe members who have taken out time and joined